What's up, my Wizards Dev? SBMTG down there. Super stoked about a card that I just saw on Mythic Spoilers, so let's take a minute. I'm going to break it down for you. Rapping. Anyway, we got a card today that's I'm actually really am that stoked about that I'm just going to rap. We've got Triskaidekaphobia right here. I've just seen it on Mythic Spoiler at like 2:30 in the morning today. And I'm so excited about it, I'm just going to do a video. And I've got a couple of other things I want to talk about, but this is easily best card of the set. Not really the best like for play, but just flavor win. This is maybe the best flavor card of all time. And I actually think it's not a terrible card in some ways. Triskaidekaphobia costs 3 and a black. It's an enchantment. And at the beginning of your upkeep, you choose one. Each player that has exactly 13 life loses the game. And then each player gains a life, or the inverse of that. You can also choose to have each player at 13 life lose the game, same thing there, but each player loses a life as well. So here's the deal. You can have you can use this obviously to sort of slowly work their life total towards 13, where they have to raise it or lower it, which is probably a pretty high pressure game. But you know, some people say this is obviously meant for Commander, but you have to deal like 27 damage before this starts being good. But it would be pretty good in Commander, where you sort of maximize the number of turns that you're playing with, and that maximizes the chances that you have to manipulate life totals and, you know, knock players out of the game with this. But in Standard, I actually think it's interesting. You know, everyone's talking about the Falcon Wrath, Heir of Falcon Wrath, and Incorrigible Youths thing, where like third turn you swing 7 and knock them down to 13. This is kind of interesting because you can follow that up with the turn 4 this. You win on turn 5. That is kind of Christmas land because they'll be able to manipulate their life total in some ways. But in this Standard, it's a lot harder to do that. You know, there's not fetch lands to mess with your life total. There's no, you know, like Thoughtseize as of months ago. But there's just not much in the Standard that allows you to manipulate your own life total, unless you have certain things. You know, Ailey. Later on in the game, you can have like Sorin maybe. I mean, there's different things. Ojutai's Command, Kalitas, you know, Kalitas. Excuse me, I have to pronounce that right now. Kalitas. So there are some things, you know, Shambling Vent. I'm pointing out some things here. But there are definitely ways that we can manipulate their life total too, outside of this card. So, like the card, actually, Triskaidekaphobia. Here's the flavor win here. Triskaidekaphobia obviously means fear of the number 13, in case you didn't know. But there's a lot of cool little Easter eggs in the art here, and in the overall design, and even in the set number of the card. They really went all out with the flavor on this. Let's go with the Where's Waldo approach and just try to name everything that we can find in the art here. There are 13 streaks of blood on the wall. There are 13 stones in the outer stonework of the fireplace. There are 13 stones in the inner stonework of the fireplace. There are 13 logs in the fireplace. There are 13 stones on the ground in front of the fireplace. There are 13 boards on the ceiling and on the wall. There are 13 pegs in the barrel to the left there in the art. There are 13 of these, what I'll assume are cooking utensils and not instruments of murder, up there on the top left there. And there's some other interesting stuff. It costs 1 black and 3, that's 13. They even went so far out with the flavor here that they included the card number for the set. The card number in this set is 141. 14 minus 1 is 13. So there you go. And if they could add 2 letters to the word enchantment, they probably would do that too. Just overall, just like it's impossible to not like this card. And there are a lot of people calling it crap, and it probably won't see Standard play, obviously. I am pimping it a lot, but this is probably, you know, you don't really build around this. It's going to be tough to. But it is an alternate win condition, so there's that. And alternate win conditions are always cool, and I think it's cooler than Hedron alignment by a long shot. So love the card a lot. I'm sort of gushing over it because I haven't seen a flavor win like this in probably ever. I've been playing Magic for over 20 years, and I've never seen something that even approaches how amazing this card is design-wise. There are 2 more things that happened today that I want to talk about as far as the spoilers go. Prodder came out, and a lot of people have been asking me in comments, and I've gotten an email too, about Prodder and how I feel about this. Prodder, in case you haven't seen it yet, is 2 and a red. It's a devil, and it's a 3/2 with menace. At the beginning of your upkeep, reveal the top card of your library. Any opponent may have you put it into your graveyard. If a player does, Prodder hits that player for damage equal to that card's converted mana cost. Otherwise, you put that card into your hand. So red card draw that's sort of Bobbian, you know, in the way it works. You know, it feels like a rework of a red Dark Confidant, you know. You either get to draw the card or hit your opponent for damage, unless you draw a land, in which case they'll probably make you discard it. but just so you won't get the card advantage, or the land if you need that. But I really like the way this interacts with Goblin Dark Dwellers, first of all. You know, if they decide to make you put a card in your graveyard, you can always Dark Dwellers it and play it again. That's pretty cool. And card works cool with Dark Dwellers, because if you draw a Dark Dwellers with this card during your upkeep, then they'll either have you put that into your hand or take 5. I like how this works with a lot of red cards, actually. Thunderbreak Region, you know, let me have that or take 4. Chandra, let me have that or take 6. And the card works really well outside of just mono red, you know, like in a Jund deck, this could maybe be a thing. You know, Jund wants card advantage, and Jund wants to hit them for a lot of damage too. So advantage or damage, one way or the other. And on a 3 mana, 3/2 menace body, all of this seems like a pretty good deal to me. And the last thing that happened today that I really want to take note of is the lands. The lands happen. I don't know what we're calling them yet. I'm sure they'll get a snappy name soon enough. They always do. They're all the allied colors. Really think these are going to be great in standard. I will say that they don't really appear to be great top decks. You know, first couple of turns, these are really good. They sort of work in a common sense way with the battle lands. I like that about them. And they work well with Traverse the Illivan Wall. We just spoiled that the other day. You know, first turn, Traverse. Second turn, reveal the basic land you just tutored for and play one of these untapped. So that seems cool as well. I think these are going to do a lot of work, and a lot of players are really happy that we're still going to be able to play 3 colors. At least that's what it looks like. I was just building Esper, and I'm still building Esper for the channel. And this helps a lot. So like we really have even more lands than we can handle it. We include, you know, 4 of each pertinent land of this type, and then 4 of each battle land. So that's 16 right there. Plus we have Shambling Vent, Caves of Koilos, you know. So we've got all the lands we need to make it work. So 3 colors is still a reality, and a lot of players are happy. A lot of players are sad, but don't worry. You probably won't come up against 4 and 5 color good stuff anymore. At least, fingers crossed you won't. That's all I've got for now. Like I said, I'm building Esper Control for the channel. Let me know how you feel about that. And Jund is also coming up. Had a lot of people ask about that in the comments lately. Jund is happening. I'm just going to let a couple more cards get spoiled before I do that. But all that's coming up, so sub if you're new and if you want to catch that content. If you enjoyed this content, which I hope you did. I was really stoked about this card. Like the video, just takes that thumbs up. And go to the channel, just hit Strictly Better MTG in the video there, the video description. It'll take you straight to our channel. You see all the stuff we do. So yeah, do that. And I'll see you guys later. I'm sure there's more spoilers and we'll have some decks coming up. Thanks for watching, my wizards.